We are so blessed because we get the amazing, wonderful, anointed, created, and I could use all kinds of adjectives, go on and on, Arthelene Rippy. Thank you
are so kind.
much for being here.
Oh, I'm delighted to be with you. And I was thinking of our history.
Yes.
I knew her before she was married.
Yes, you did.
And just watched through the years. And I've watched when, you know, things were not going well, and I watched the way you responded to it. You know, some old person in the ministry can watch that. And it was very inspirational through the years to see what the Lord has done with you. And your husband, God bless you in your ministry.
Well, I want everyone to know how I first came in contact with Arthelene, and that was in 1991 at the University Club in downtown Tampa, and you were the guest speaker for a ladies' luncheon, and someone bought my ticket. And so we dressed up and we went, and we were out overlooking the city of Tampa. And you came and opened your mouth and changed my life. Your testimony was captivating. It was mesmerizing. I thought, I can get through anything if she has overcome what she's overcome. And then after you spoke, I approached you, and for whatever reason, you encouraged me to get your favorite book. Or at the time, maybe it was your favorite book, but it was A Tale of Three Kings by Jean Edwards, which has since become my favorite book. And I've bought
your life.
Yeah, it's been my life, you're right, but yours too. And I love the Lord because he knew that this 21-year-old girl was going to walk through some things, and he connected me to you.
And that book is for anybody in ministry, called Tale of Three Kings by Jean Edwards.
Yes.
And I've interviewed him. I think he's with the Lord now, but yeah.
What a privilege.
We have a rich history. I'm thankful that the Lord crossed our paths.
Yes. And then, Arthelene, during, some of those moments that we all go through as believers, when I was in the valley of the shadow, you reached out. You didn't have to. You were a busy woman in ministry, and you had all kinds of commitments and engagements, and yet you reached out and loved my husband and I, and you, for about a year, you took us to lunch once a month, and you sent us seeds, and you said, don't give up. There's a better day coming.
Well, that's the way the body of Christ is supposed to work.
Yeah.
It's just people helping people, and then when you have the Spirit of the Lord in the mix, it's going to come out good. So I'm real proud of you and your husband, and now you're doing a TV show.
Well, I'm eternally grateful. We both are. You look back at life, and I don't know, had you not extended that olive branch and that love and been the body, I don't know. You just don't know what could have happened, and so thank you.
Well, I've been in the ministry all my life. My grandfather was a preacher, my dad, my husband, my son, the whole thing. And you can recognize a hurting leader, and you don't handle them like everybody else. There's certain ways that you can handle them, because a leader can lose out with God and leave the ministry and become bitter. I've seen that before. And so the mature ones need to kind of guide you through, because trust me, you're not going to mount to a hill of beans until you've been through the fire.
Oh yeah, that is the truth. Well, thank you for jumping in the fire with us and providing love and wisdom and care.
Well, that's what we're supposed to do.
We are, but not all do it, and you did. And you have, I'm sure I'm not the only recipient of your love. There's many others, but I'm grateful, very, very grateful.
Well, my privilege.
And then throughout the years, just you caring about the Haiti projects, and when the church was built, and then the Bible college, and just having us on and highlighting things. and being so genuine. You've always been such a cheerleader. You have pom-poms and you just
Supposed to
cheerlead.
do, encourage each other, and it doesn't cost a penny.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about media, because media is one of the 7 mountains that really is supposed to be affecting and impacting, influencing, and infiltrating culture. And when God called you to media, I want to hear how he called you, because you were, before he called you to media, you were a gospel singer and you were in a gospel group.
Yeah, well, I owe my mother so much. She made sure we had music.
Yes.
And my family, they are professional musicians. But being in a minister's home and all, a lot of times there's music involved in that. And so I've always been involved in music because it was in my home. But I passed an audition to get on the Day of Discovery. Now, a few people will remember that. It was an original Christian television program before there were any Christian networks.
Wow.
It was very professionally done, the very finest musicians and all, but it aired on secular stations. There was no Christian television.
Right.
So I knew Bob DeAndre, who's the founder of this network, and I heard he was going to start a Christian television network here. So I wrote him a little note. I said, I've got a tiny bit of experience, if I can help you. He said, you're on. So it was Herman Bailey and Bob and I really from the very beginning,
Wow.
before there was any kind of an office or any spade of dirt turned, before we had this land even.
Wow.
Charles Leeming, brother, wonderful, wonderful pastor, gave this land to Bob for the network. And so, you know, I've been with it from right beginning and seen the hand of God, just a wonderful blessing, just pouring out his blessing on this.